A quick disclaimer before I start the video. This video is aimed at mobile BIG Paintball players. Some information may not sync with console and computer players. Thanks. My previous video on BIG Paintball was over the most underrated gun in BIG Paintball, the paintbrush gun. Go watch it if you would like to know which gun is the most underrated. Today we'll be exploring which gun under 1 million coins, or points, or credits, whichever one you like to call it, is the best. Let's get into it. We'll start from the cheapest guns and work our way up to the most expensive ones, all the way to 1 million. And by the way, I'm only going over the ones that I think are good. I've played BIG Paintball for over 3 years, so I have a lot of experience with the game, and I'll be able to tell which guns are better. Our first stop is the P90. The P90 is a very cheap and popular gun at only $75,000. I'd argue that it is actually the most popular gun in BIG Paintball, or at least it was. P90's fire rate is what makes it stand out the most. The fire rate is very fast and its range is not the best, but it's still acceptable. The weight is normal and there are no effects on this gun. Our second stop on the list is the Scar at $200,000. We've jumped 125,000 more credits or dollars than the P90, so we're getting a bit expensive now. This gun has good fire rate for a rifle and amazing range. We can see on screen as aiming at opponents requires you to aim much higher than the Scar. Look at the crosshairs and you can see this very clearly. The Scar is heavier than the P90, so picking opponents from afar is a better. This gun has no effects as well. Next is the Party Gun at $370,000, which is even more expensive. The fire rate compared to the Scar is significantly slower, but the Party Gun's range makes up for it. On screen we can see this gun side by side with the Scar. The Party Gun's bullet drop is less and its bullet speed is much faster. Party Gun has an effect and it's not that exciting, but it's still funny to mess around with your opponents with it. This gun used to be a very popular gun before the Unicorn gun came out, but it's still a popular gun today. Our choices are going to get closer together in price as we continue forwards. This is because there are many different good guns at this point. Following the Party Gun is the Lightning Gun at $550,000. The Lightning Gun has cool effects, above average fire rate, and good range. What's not to love? Well, Lightning Gun unfortunately gets outclassed by others above its price, like the Unicorn Gun or the new Firework Gun. Lightning Gun zaps the player tagged with a lightning strike, which is really cool and basically everybody can see it, which could be a good thing or a bad thing based on how you like to play. The weight is rifle level, so not heavy nor light. After the Lightning Gun comes the new Bubblegum Gun, which sports many of the same features as the Lightning Gun, but is more expensive and has a different effect. Honestly, the two guns are almost identical except for their effect. The range is practically the same, but the Bubblegum gun seems to have slightly less bullet drop, which is better. However, when I test out guns, or just use them in general, I compare their range constantly. In my testing, the Bubblegum gun's bullets take slightly longer to get to their target than the Lightning Gun. This might just be me, but I do see this in game. It's a little weird, again, maybe it's just me. The Bubblegum's gun effects is like the Balloon Gun, but it's definitely not as loud. The Bubblegum gun comes at a price of $750,000. Next is the Unicorn Gun, which, spoiler alert, is one of my personal favorites. The Unicorn Gun boasts a very fast fire rate, great range, and a cool effect. The Unicorn Gun comes at a hefty price of $777,777, which is quite pricey. The Unicorn Gun is lighter than rifles, but still heavier than something like the dual pistols or Chemo Uzi, which means you'll be moving quite fast with this gun. The effect of the Unicorn Gun is a rainbow, which you can see here clearly while I'm playing with it in Susion. The effect is not my favorite, but the gun certainly makes up for it. If you're performance-based and not effect/visual-based, then this might be your cup of tea. The Gemstone Scar comes next at $850,000. The Gemstone Scar is actually a good Scar reskin and has a little better range with the same fire rate and weight. However, the effect this gun has is the selling point in my opinion. Maybe not for everyone, but for me, the effect is extremely satisfying. That's really all for the Gemstone Scar. This footage of me in warehouse is where you can really see how good this gun is. At the same price as the Gemstone Scar, at $850,000, the Tempered Deagle is a powerful weapon in the right hands. The tempered deagle has barely any differences from the normal deagle, however, except for its effect. The tempered gun's effects are some of the best in the game. They make a satisfying sound, and they make a cool particle effect. It's just an overall really good effect. The weight and range of this gun are probably what will make you buy it. It has an amazing range, again, about the same as the normal deagle, which is very far. The fire rate might be a deterrent, however. The fire rate is quite slow, the slowest on this list. The weight of the tempered deagle is lightweight, so you'll be fast when using this weapon. Finally, the new firework gun at an expensive $900,000. The firework gun is really a bubblegum reskin, but better. This gun has good fire rate and bullet speed, but the bullet drop is a little high for a gun this expensive. As seen in this footage, the paint travels down a little bit more than I expected it to. The gun's effect is pretty cool, but it was really only meant for New Year's, and it's not really relevant anymore. Whew! Now that's a lot of guns. Now that we've reviewed each gun individually, the question you've been waiting for has to be answered. Which one of these, or one that I may have not mentioned, is the best? This question is quite hard to answer because there are so many guns to choose from, and honestly, it comes down to your game type. Now, Elijah, what do you mean by that? Well, you could call them stereotypes if that's more familiar. However, they are not the exact same. Anyways, some game types include the sniper, the camper, the rusher, the ranger, and the list goes on. Before we can answer the question directly, we have to figure out which guns are best in each category, like SMG, rifle, sniper. Again, the list goes on. The SMG category fits the rusher role, getting to the enemy base and just spraying as much paint as possible. Sort of like a heavy, but not exactly like a heavy. The only two guns in this list that fit this category includes the P90 and the unicorn gun. The winner of this comparison should be easy, but just in case, let's compare these two weapons. They're both lightweight and both have a fast fire rate. However, the range between these two is drastically different. The P90 requires the player to aim extremely high up to hit faraway targets, which is really annoying on mobile. Which, by the way, is who this video is intended for, since literally every weapon except the Tommy gun is automatic and mobile if you put your finger on the screen and hold it there. The unicorn gun is still an SMG class, so you'll need to aim higher than normal, but it's nowhere close to how much higher you need to aim with the P90s. It's just so much better. Same goes for bullet speed. The unicorn gun's bullet speed is way faster than the P90s. The unicorn gun also has an effect, while the P90 does not. Even if you don't like it, it's still cooler in my opinion. So the unicorn gun instantly wins in the SMG category. Now the rifle category, or the medium range category if you will. The rifle category includes almost all of the weapons on this list. The SCAR, the lightning gun, the bubblegum gun, gemstone SCAR, firework gun, and interestingly, the party gun. I included the party gun because it's still medium range, even long range if you think about it. So I'll compare it to the snipers under $1 million as well, even if they weren't on the list. The SCAR and gemstone SCAR are nearly identical, but the gemstone SCAR has slightly better stats and it has a very satisfying effect. But the SCAR is $650,000 cheaper, so it's not entirely out of the question yet. The lightning gun has faster fire rate than the SCAR, faster movement speed using it, and a very cool effect. SCAR's range is ever so slightly better than the lightning gun, but it's not really enough to make it better than the lightning gun. Lightning gun takes the lead over the normal SCAR. But what about the gemstone SCAR? Again, the game type problem comes up again. If you want to take out people at about the range you would while at the Bridge 2019 windows, then the gemstone SCAR might be better. However, the gemstone SCAR's lead and range are not enough to make it better than the lightning gun in my opinion. The lightning gun takes the top spot once again. Next is the bubblegum gun, which in my opinion is greatly overpriced. This gun has about the same fire rate as the lightning gun, but its range is severely underwhelming. The bullet drop is pretty high, and the bullet speed is just horrible. It takes so long for your bullets to get to the target. It's annoying because you want to take out one enemy before moving on to the next as fast as possible. Bubblegum gun is the worst rifle in this list for me. I might make a dedicated review explaining why I don't like this gun in the future, if you guys would like to see that. Tell me in the comments. So lightning gun seems to overtake every rifle so far. Is it the best rifle? The lightning gun finally meets its match nearly $400,000 later. This match is the firework gun. Unlike the other new gun, this firework gun is very good for its price. The firework gun shoots quite fast actually, I'd say very close fire rate to the unicorn gun. Its range is great as well. It can shoot pretty far, but it seems to have a slower than normal bullet speed, if that makes sense. I have to wait a little longer for my bullets to hit the ground than when I'm using the gemstone scar. It's a little bit annoying, and you might be able to see it in the background gameplay. The firework gun's weight is pretty normal, and its effect is quite cool, but the volume of it is pretty low, so you won't be able to hear it very well. The party gun is not really a rifle, but it's extremely similar to the tempered deagle. In this list, it wouldn't be very good since it has the slowest fire rate out of any of the rifles. The party gun is cheap, however, and it's worth comparing to the sniper category. The winner of the rifles is either the firework gun or the gemstone scar. I personally like the gemstone scar more, or even the scar. The firework gun's higher than normal bullet drop is just infuriating to use. I don't think it's worth $900,000 even with the effect, but that's why I'm reviewing it. The gemstone scar just has less bullet drop, faster bullet speed, and a cooler effect in my opinion. It's just better. Finally, the sniper or long range category. This one will be shorter than the other two comparisons. The party gun, tempered deagle, poop gun, even though it wasn't on the list, scout, and sniper will all be on this comparison, or in this comparison. Pretty much every sniper in this category is better than the scout. The sniper has a much more controllable bullet drop than the scout. The scout is just not very good. If you really need a sniper and you don't have a huge budget, then the scout is a good choice. Just save up for the green sniper if you want a decent one. Comparing the poop gun to the sniper, the poop gun is slightly better in my opinion. It has a much faster fire rate and effect on top of it. These trade for the loss of range. If you want to snipe as long as possible, then the sniper is for you. If you want to have a medium-ranged weapon just in case, then the poop gun is better. The party gun, however, outmatches the poop gun in nearly every factor. The party gun used to be, and still is, one of the top medium-range / long-range weapons in the game. The range is just a little worse than the poop gun, but its fire rate is where it's at. The fire rate of the party gun is faster than the other snipers. The party gun's effect is also infuriating, at least to me, and can pretty easily anger the other team. And in the speed at which you move with the party gun is fast, about the same as the unicorn gun. Finally, we have the tempered deagle. The tempered deagle is a tough one on the list because it's literally just the normal deagle, slightly buffed with a new cool effect. It's the most expensive quote-unquote sniper on the list, and there's a reason for it. The fire rate is not its main bragging point, but everything else compensates for it. The range is incredible, reaching just below scout level. The bullet speed is slightly lower though. You move quite fast with the tempered deagle, and the effect is just awesome. A solid pick for someone in the sniper role. If you really need a gun like the tempered deagle, then just buy the normal deagle. It's not even a noticeable difference in range. The effect is basically the only difference when using it, which is a noticeable factor, however. In the end, I can see why certain guns are used more than others, though there are obvious winners in the three categories that I've discussed. The king of the SMGs is without a doubt the unicorn gun. Its amazing range and fire for its price is just a total steal. The winner of the rival category, in my opinion, is either the lightning gun, firework gun, or the gemstone scar. Unfortunately, the firework gun just falls short right here. The bullet speed is just slightly slower than the other two, and its bullet drop is quite high for a rifle as well. The lightning gun is cheaper with a possibly better effect and decent range. The gemstone scar is just a slightly better scar, but with a satisfying effect. Honestly, if you really need a decent rifle, then the lightning gun or normal scar is good. If you have some money that you can spend, then the gemstone scar might be the best option. The best sniper is a tricky one, actually. I believe that the tempered deagle is the best choice on mobile, since the scout and sniper are hard to aim with when you're looking down the scope. The party gun and tempered deagle are very similar in terms of their range, but the tempered deagle takes the lead there. Again, if you really need a sniper for a cheap price, then the party gun is probably the better choice. But if you have money that you can dish out, then the tempered deagle is the better choice. It all comes down to personal preference in the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you can support me by just subscribing or commenting down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.